So we actually have something really special planned today. We're going to be live in the studio. We have a guest that we'll introduce in one moment, but we also have a remote guest. We are going to be working with a great software program today called GoToMeeting. It's offered by Citrix, and they've actually helped us by providing the software for our show Technology Today, and you'll hear a lot about this moving forward. So the first thing that we'd like to do this week is introduce our first guest. Her name is Kathy Mackey, and she actually owns Kathy Mackey Web Design, and she's here helping us out with a program called DreamWeaver. So Kathy, welcome to our show.
Hi Ron, thanks for having me here tonight.
Thanks so much for coming out. Now you actually live locally, correct?
Yes, I do. I live in Norton.
Oh, okay. It's terrific. And we met through an acquaintance.
That's right.
Who referred us together, and we've actually worked together on a couple of websites.
Exactly.
So we're going to focus a little bit tonight on the workflow between some Adobe products. A lot of people know that there's some terrific software out there. We're going to focus today on the Adobe CS4 suite of products. And those products are going to include a very well-known product called Photoshop. We're also going to work within Flash. Kathy's going to help us with DreamWeaver, and we also have an After Effects freelance animator that's done some terrific work for Nickelodeon, Nesson, and the Boston Red Sox. So we're going to bring all of those three parties together, work interactively, and we know that the internet makes distance irrelevant, so we're going to show that today. And we're also going to work on multiple platforms. We're going to be working on a Mac platform with Kathy has today, and we're going to be working on a Windows platform with Sean Maynard and myself. We actually have a meeting opened up right now, and that meeting is by a company called Citrix. It's called GoToMeeting, and you can actually see right in the middle of my screen here that meeting in action. We have 3 attendees. We have Ron Haley, your host of Technology Today. We have Kathy Mackey, who's dialed in next to us, but we're actually connected online. And we also have Sean Maynard out of Connecticut that we'll meet with in just a moment. So currently, I am the presenter of this meeting, so all 3 people that are here are actually viewing my screen. I can pause that screen if they don't want to see what's on there, or I can play the screen as we move forward. And what's really neat, one of the kind of unique features of this is the ability to integrate with Microsoft Outlook. So anytime you're within Microsoft Outlook, up on the very top edge over here, you'll start to see a integration where it says Meet Now. And you'll see it up in the top right-hand corner here. It'll say Meet Now. You press that, it'll create an email, and what that email will do is invite people to come take a look at the meeting. So here's a copy of that email. Any respondent or recipient of that email would just click the hyperlink. That'll bring them right up to the GoToMeeting. It's a quick download, maybe a 1-minute download, complete with the meeting ID. And you also have an option. You have the option of listening in via telephone, or you have the option of dialing in VoIP, Voice over Internet Protocol, directly within the application itself. So I'm going to make pretend we sent out that email. We have a number of attendees that are up here. And we're going to go ahead and give control of this meeting to Kathy Mackey. So we're going to make her the presenter. And on her screen, she's going to see a request that she is able to connect. So she's going to show her desktop, which you see right now. And Kathy, why don't you go ahead, take us through, I know you wanted to show a couple of websites that you had created to give us an idea, tell us what DreamWeaver is good for and why somebody, maybe some of the younger crew that are listening might want to get involved with DreamWeaver and what its benefits are.
Okay. Well, DreamWeaver, definitely that's the basic authoring website software. And the site that I'm looking at this point is the site that you and I happen to collaborate on. And basically I built the entire site, all the text, the heading, everything, but this one thing that has interaction here that's rotating. I had contacted you to do a Flash file for that.
Correct.
So that's an example of DreamWeaver basically being the starting point, so to speak, for web design. And
so essentially, if I'm hearing you correctly, DreamWeaver kind of made the shell for this website, and you have various components that can be embedded into that shell. So show me, if you'll go back to DreamWeaver and show me where that slideshow was integrated. So
Okay.
I'm looking at the F, which for the developers know that that signifies that a Flash file is embedded into this. But why don't you work through some of the components that you put in
Sure.
there, if you will.
Well, as I started to build the site, before I even contacted you, I designed the page and I kind of put just a stock photo in for the dimensions that I decided to eventually build the slideshow for.
Okay.
So I played around with some stock images as I developed the page to make sure that everything was to scale, so to speak.
Okay.
But within Dreamweaver, you can add certain modules of functionality via an awful lot of other programs such as Flash or various programming or scripting things.
That's really neat. And that all kind of fits in with the Adobe suite of products. So what language was used to actually create that, Kathy?
PHP.
Oh, terrific. PHP is a terrific programming language that is used to integrate web parts, and it's something that's very, very popular now with the programming community. So I'm just going to show this quick before we introduce Sean. And we had 3 10-second spots to cut down on some of the cost for the Rhode Island stations, but we also had done some 30-second spots. So
If you could, would you buy a new home or make some home improvements and increase your home's value? Would you take the entire family on that vacation about? Is your mailbox stuffed with high-interest payment loans? While mortgages are still at historic lows, why not consolidate them into one low monthly payment? Get free property search and free home value report. Visit.
That was just a great little piece, and that keeps going. But Sean was responsible for all the animations. He did a great job. He's worked for the likes of Nickelodeon. He has done some work for the Boston Red Sox. He has also done some work for the Nesson, for Dunkin' Donuts. He's recently been doing a lot of medical work, which, Sean, we've actually had some success that we're going to be doing some information with that. So without further ado, he's a freelance animator. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mr. Sean Maynard. Sean, can you hear us all right?
Sure. How's everybody doing tonight?
Terrific. Sean, how are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Just wanted to go over a couple things with everybody. I am a full-time freelance 3D animator. And the significance of the freelance part of that is that I have to do many, many different things, not just one thing. But before I get into that, I just wanted to show you just a couple quick animations just to kind of show you the range and the different kinds of things that I am doing. I've done just about every type of animation or graphic imaginable. This animation I'm going to show you here was a company in Boston had contacted me to do this. It's for a Celtics game where they had a contest, and basically it was for legal seafood, and the game is that you have to pick the right seafood item that has the ball at the end of the game, and it's played on the big Jumbotron. Can you guess who has the ball? All right. Which is it going to be? Good old crab. So that was one we did for legal seafood, and then I won't bore you too much with this, but this is a medical animation that I did for a documentary on Alzheimer's. And you notice this is obviously somebody's ear, so I had to take a photograph of their head and remodel a 3D ear to fit in with their image. And the idea is that you're traveling through his head to the neurons in his brain.
Is this anybody you know?
I do know the person, yeah. This is actually the producer of the show. I worked for a company for a couple of years that did a lot of work with Nickelodeon on Jimmy Neutron. And they also did a lot of commercial work that went in between shows, little bumpers and tags, that type of thing. That was a lot of fun. I also have worked for Nesson, doing a lot of their promotional work for different things. And a lot of medical companies that you probably haven't heard of, just because they're always kind of behind the scenes anyway. Just to show you the diversity, here is a animated roll of toilet paper.
You're a genius.
So, you know, teach kids how to wipe their butts. So here's an animated roll of toilet paper just to show you that it's true that I have animated just about everything.
And I would like to actually give Sean a plug. When I was doing the project management we developed a website for a large 4-branch mortgage company in Rhode Island where I was director of IT and marketing, and I actually called Channel 6 or Channel 12, one of them that we were airing constant commercials on it, and they referred me to Sean. I got in touch with him. He was great to work with, very timely. The prices that he was working on were very, very reasonable for what we were dealing with. I know animation takes a long time, and Sean, you were great to work with, and I know Kathy, the work that we've done, the three of us actually work very well together. I think you've got one more thing you'd like to show us. Why don't we bring them back on, Kath?
This was a combination of logo design. This was for a trade show, and I had to basically rebuild their trade show booth and show what it would look like from different points of view, that type of thing. This is a good example of like corporate animation.
That's fantastic. Looks like our studio. Remember, as I said, there's never been a better time to be alive with technology the way it is today. And we would love to have you ask your questions, email us, add us on Twitter, add us on Facebook at the emails and listings below. We'd like to thank Citrix and GoToMeeting for providing us with the software to be able to handle the show today and be able to get these three people together. And I just want to thank you all for tuning in tonight for our guests, Kathy Mackey and Sean Maynard, our After Effects developer and our DreamWeaver expert. This is Ron Haley, your Flash expert and host of Technology Today. Thank you so much for coming out. It was a pleasure serving you all in the Foxborough area. We'll see you at the top.